Okay, the Fool. And this kind of feels like it's July is like that for so many people. So many people. It's leap of faith time, basically. Stepping out into a whole new life. Now, the underlying, it's the undercurrent. It's the fuel in our car. It's what's pushing us forward. It's what's motivating us. It's the kind of undercurrent of the energy. I always think it's more under the surface, but it's there. It's undeniably there in everything that comes up. And so with the Fool coming up here, have a look at her. She's a mermaid and she's lost her tail and she's now got 2 legs and she is coming onto land for the first time. Now imagine that Capricorn, and you guys are the sea goat, right? So if you've been in the sea your whole life, you've been in the sea your whole life, and now all of a sudden it's a brand new journey, you're going to come onto land. It would be frightening because you don't know what's on land. You're not used to it. It's foreign, completely foreign to you. And I do want to say this. Some of you might be using the word foreign. Some of you might be thinking of relocating somewhere, even if it's in the same country, but somewhere that feels very different from where you've been. Just want to say that as a little aside message that's coming through. Now, with the Fool coming up, have a look at her face. She's full of wonder and awe and excitement, and she's trusting. But what is she trusting in? What does she have faith in? Remember, the Fool is a leap of faith. She has faith in herself that, she will know what to do, that she will experience all of this new stuff. And that's a big message actually in this reading, because it kind of feels like new experiences. I want new experiences. Well, that adventure, you might have gone on a mini adventure. This is the bigger aspect of that. This is where it plays out now on a much bigger scale. The Fool is everything. When you get major arcanas like the Fool world, that affects everything across the board, not just love or work. Whatever this one changes that you're looking to make, it reverberates and affects everything in your life. No pressure. No, but you have the 9 of Cups with it. No wonder she looks so awestruck that this is your heart's desire. Now, just because it's your wish, just because it's your heart's desire, it doesn't mean that it's not frightening and that it's not scary. In fact, I often think that the more our heart is invested in something, the more frightening it is, right? Because it means more to us. We have a vested emotional interest. I had a conversation with someone earlier today, actually. And we were talking about, they asked me if I cared about something. And I kind of said it a bit tongue in cheek, but not exactly. I said, you know me, I don't really care about anything. Now, he laughed because he knows what I'm like. But what do I mean by that? It means I don't need or want or desire, anything from anyone. So when you're like that, you don't really care what happens. You think everything happens for my highest good. But, there are things sometimes where I do want something, when my heart is fully invested in that thing, then it matters. Then it feels even bigger, right? And if you think of the story of the Little Mermaid, she's coming onto land to find her love. So that matters to her. But so there might be an end goal that you've set, a wish that you've got, but it kind of feels like you have to go into that foreign territory, whether that's how you behave, what you do, your routine changes up, but it's an alien world that you're stepping into to be able to get your heart's desire. And it's underlying, so it's there. It's not like you don't know this. This is not I hope it happens kind of thing. When we see the Fool and we say it's a leap of faith, I think the implication that people assume about it is that, oh, well, I'll have an opportunity and it's going to frighten me, but I'm going to go for it. No, there's no opportunity. There's nothing. It's the void almost. It's kind of throwing yourself into something that there's not even a path in front of you at this point. You just make that decision. I'm going to throw myself into this, but whatever this is, it might look like the abyss. It might be a void right in front of you yet. There's no path. You don't know where you're going or any of that. You just make that decision. I'm ready to go again. I'm ready to start a new cycle. I'm done with the old cycle completely. But I think the good news for you guys here is that it's something that your heart truly desires. So you know that. You may not have a way to get to it yet, but you know what it is that you want. Now, how did we get here to this point? How did we get to this point of, and that's I just want to say again, Capricorn, that's beautiful energy to have as an underlying energy. What, the 9 of Cups, the wish card, your heart's desire, and the Fool, which is that new beginning that you want, like where everything kind of changes up. When you get the 7 of Pentacles, though, this is saying that you've done the hard slog. You have put in the effort, put in the hours, put in the grind, whatever, to get this to work. 7 of Pentacles. I also get the sense it's something that you've waited for a long time. You've waited for quite some time. Now, with the Seven of Pentacles coming up, sevens are always, they have one question for you. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? And Seven of Pentacles says, is it worth all the effort, for everything that you put into this? Why are you doing this? Why have you done all of this? And sometimes we need that reminder. Look at them. They're waiting for their baby to be born, right? But they're not just sitting and waiting. Yes, it requires patience. But they've got the baby's nursery set up. They've got the little, the basket there. Little baby's mobile up there. So, they've got everything ready for it. Because they know the baby's coming out. It's that kind of sense of, but the waiting isn't always easy. And it feels like you've been waiting for this. But I kind of get the sense, guys, that if you're, and I know it's unfortunate that the image is a woman, because it's not like you can just go in and get it. But that's what your reading is saying. So let's just ignore her for a moment. It's not about going in and getting the baby. But whatever this is, your heart's desire, if you've been waiting for it, the effort's been put in now. The Seven of Pentacles is saying, okay, you've done the work. You've laid the foundation. Whatever it is, that garden that you were cultivating and growing, let's go there. It started to bear fruit now. Started to bear fruit. Now, that's very important, especially for those of you that, if you had something like, well, I can't date until I get to a certain position at work. Like, I only started work. My work's going to take a lot of hours. Let me do that. Or, we won't move house until whatever. Or we won't talk about relocating until this, whatever. Well, whatever that was, you've reached it. Seven of Pentacles says, look at what's in front of you. Look at the returns that you're getting. The garden is all planted. You've put the effort in. Now it's going to be a matter of time for it to bring back the fruits of your labor. But you've done that, right? Are you happy with that? Does it need more effort? Some of you might want to tweak it. Some of you want to change the plants that are there. But it feels like more effort. But I kind of don't feel like it's on this, if that makes sense. Because you've got the Knight of Wands in the past. Knight of Wands. Some of you might have several things going on. I'm just going to say that. Because I do feel kind of pulled in different directions as I'm looking at this. But with the Knight of Wands in the past, this is fun. This is being unreliable. This is, an adventure. The Knight of Wands is the adventurer, the explorer. He's passionate. He goes for it. He really goes for it. And I often think that the Knight of Wands and the Fool are very similar because they're both in it for the experience. They're both in it for the experience. Now, these are not in it for the experience, well, obviously down the road, but they are about building a future, building something, but that is their long-term security and stability. They're building their legacy, their family, right? With Pentacles coming up. So this very responsible, very hard-working energy in the middle, but it kind of feels like something is calling you. Might have been calling you for a while. Maybe you identified it here. Maybe the idea for it came up here. But with this coming up, it's time to now take action towards it. Now, I want to say this as well. With that Seven of Pentacles, it might be that you've saved up the money for it or laid the groundwork for it or, studied for it or whatever it is. You've done the practical aspect of it, the part that you're very good at. You're very good at that, Capricorn, with the Queen of Pentacles coming up. But now it's the action part where you're driven by your passion. You're driven by your it's competition, a healthy competition. Sometimes I see this as a sports team. They don't really care about it, but they're going in to go win because it matters. That matters to them. The whole action part, the taking part, being the winner, the sporting aspect of it. But with the Five of Wands coming up, it's about getting back in the ring. It's about showing what you're made of, really showing what you're made of. I think it gets a little bit more serious, whatever this is, because the Knight of Wands is, like I said, was fun, right? And maybe you started something. If this is a relationship, I just want to say this. It might have started off as a one-night stand or as a bit of a laugh with the Knight of Wands coming up there. And yet now it's become something else. It's deepened. Or, if it was, I'll just take that job and do it for summer. I'll just go for the 6 months. It will look good on my CV or resume, right? But now it's like, wow, this is it. This is what I want to do. I want to do this. Out of whatever this was, which started off as something fun or not very serious, let's just go try it. Maybe on your travels you experience something, because he is the adventurer, the explorer, the traveler. Now it's something that you're ready to dedicate yourself to make this happen, to bring more action into it. Now, fives are very intense energies. I always call them the agents of chaos. Why do I call them the agents of chaos? Because they feel so intense that if we don't, it almost drives us nuts. Like, I have to change this. I can't live like this situation. And so with wands, it can be conflict, like I said, but it's not as serious as the Five of Swords. The Five of Wands, it's fighting. Seven of Wands is more defending it and fighting for something. But the Five is also showing what you're made of. Is it because you committed to this thing? The Four of Wands goes before it. Now it's time to show what you're made of. It's big. It's absolutely big with that Fool and the Nine of Cups sat above it. Where does that lead? It leads you to the Six of Swords. Now, I like the Six of Swords for a number of reasons. Some of you, it is about travel, moving abroad, changing home or something. Because this is travel, and the Fool is setting off on a journey as well. And the Six of Swords is that. It's the journey card. But, you know, I would be remiss if I didn't say as well that the Six of Swords isn't always a physical journey. It can be an internal one, right? This can be trying something new, doing it in a different way. This is across the board saying, I don't care. Risks that I was not, that, you know, I'm going to do it. I don't care. My wishes are worth it. My dreams are worth it. Six of Swords is moving on though from the difficulties. And usually not usually, always. The Six of Swords moves on from the Five of Swords, the conflict. This isn't true conflict though. This is a challenge that we enjoy. And I know some people don't enjoy challenges. I happen to be one of those people that does enjoy challenges. That, you know, I love the challenge. As soon as the challenge is over, it gets a bit boring then. But this is enjoying the challenge, but it furthers your career, the relationship, the dream, the journey, whatever it is, however this plays out for you. That's what the Six of Swords is. And sometimes with the Six of Swords, we don't precisely know what we're going towards, but we know what we're moving away from. And I just want to say, all of this might be happening while you're waiting for something else to flower or to, you know, for the fruits to appear on something else that you've been working on. There's a lot going on here. So the advice is the Queen of Pentacles, and that is you guys. That is you guys. Now, she sat underneath the Knight of Wands. And I kind of get the sense that it's saying you can have it all. You can have it all. Why can you not have fun and, you know, be loving and caring and nurturing and abundant? And, you know, this is having it all. Having it all. But at the beginning, it starts off with this leap of faith. This thing that feels very risky to you. Or all you know is that you want it. I want that. I want this, with the Nine of Cups coming out with it. The other thing with the Queen of Pentacles as an advice card is she reminds you, and if you're, and I don't see doubts here, but if you were questioning that, is it, well, this is the one that says, is it worth it? If you're questioning that and you're looking for an external reason to do this, like a guarantee or a yes or whatever, there is none of that, first of all. Otherwise you wouldn't need faith. The Fool says that. But you don't need any of that furthermore, because the Queen of Pentacles, if she sees value in something, she will make it work. She will make it work. Think about it, Capricorn. That's your card. And I know the signs don't own the cards, it just lend their characteristics. But I want you to think about this. Imagine if anyone that had told you that, you know, you can't climb the goat. You can't climb that mountain. And if that goat could speak, or the Capricorn goat, it would turn around and say, no, you're telling me you can't climb the mountain. That doesn't mean I can't climb the mountain. Every statement's an I statement. And that's why the goat always gets to the top. It can climb mountains and peaks that humans can't even get up, but the goat can. And that's you guys. And that's the Queen of Pentacles. If she sees value in it, she'll make it work. I know it may have started off as a little hobby or something that was fun or, you know, whatever. But it can turn into something so much bigger, and you kind of know that. But it will require movement and change and all of this kind of stuff. Okay, I said that. And I was pulling for the Five of Wands as well. The Eight of Cups. It's the Eight of Cups is you're done. You're done with something. You're done with settling. And whatever this Nine of Cups is that's come up here, you've been searching for it, Capricorn. You've been searching for this. You know, with the Eight of Cups, yes, this person's invested a lot of time and energy into collecting those cups. It's kind of strange, right? Because she's walking back into the water. She's leaving the water here. But the Eight of Cups person, she's going to look for her ninth cup. So whatever it was, and so think about that. If we're going totally by the images, did you have to leave, like she's left her lover behind? Will she have to return to the sea or something? Like, you know, is it Cinderella kind of jobby going on here? But whatever it is, she can't stay here. She can't stay here. Why? Because she needs her ninth cup. But it's here. There's your Nine of Cups up here. So how do you leave? How do you not settle? How do you move on from whatever it is that you need to move on from? Showing what you're made of. By showing what you're made of, Capricorn. 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, you can do it all. This is someone who is confident, hardworking. They protect what is theirs, especially in this deck. With the 9 of Pentacles, do you see that little kind of creature in the well? That is the keeper of the well. Protecting those sacred waters, right? Protecting what's there. This can be about boundaries as well, but I always see that it's more about protecting what is yours. And I think you can do that. You can still do that. I want to say it again, you can have it all, Capricorn. Trust me on this, but only if you believe it, only if it's your heart's desire. If you can turn around and say to me, Jay, I can't, because you're absolutely right. I agree with you. Not going to argue with you. But going by what the energies say is available to you, you can have it all. It might require work. It will do. 9 of Pentacles as well. Remember, it talks about a sanctuary. Talking about gardens, right? This is about planting gardens and there. Yes, you created a safe space. Yes, you did this. But it's time to explore the world outside of that. Do you see a theme running through this? New lands, foreign lands, alien worlds. You know, it's new, it's new, it's new. It's not familiar to you. But that's where your wish is. 3 of Pentacles. Okay, so with the 3 of Pentacles coming up with this, yeah, you won't be working on this alone. And it is about building a future. 3 of Pentacles will work together to build it strong together. So if you're thinking, well, is it worth me moving to that place, or is it worth me doing this? Well, yeah, because the 3 of Pentacles says, you know, it's maybe being resourceful, finding people to work with you, or a family thing, or friends, or whatever, to build something strong together. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You won't have to do it. I think there's going to be help there. And also, it's a reminder, the 3 of Pentacles, of mind, body, and spirit always for me. Because in the traditional 3 of Pentacles, I hope I didn't say 3 of Cups. In the traditional 3 of Pentacles, you see the guy that's working, that's the body. You see a guy with the plans, that's the mind. Then you see the kind of spiritual person there, that's the spirit. And so it's a bringing together of all 3 to build something. So if you've only been doing something because long-term security and stability, I've got my safe space, you've done that, you'll always have that. That's who you are, Capricorn. It's reminding you, well, that is who you are. You can make that work anywhere then, right? The focus is so much on emotion here. I'm not settling. I'm not going to just sacrifice my emotions anymore for, you know, things. I'm going to go fight for things because I want them, because they have emotional meaning for me. It's worth the risk. I will face it down. I will go on these journeys to get my wish. Beautiful, beautiful reading. Very big as well. Yeah. Can't make this shit up. Choose love. Choose love. You always have a choice as to what you should do. You always do. And, you know, that's one of the things I get told the most as a reader. I can't because. And I won't ever argue with people. I'll say, okay, that's what you believe. But what if you could? What do you love? Well, first of all, we need to know what we love, right? And when we have a really good, juicy wish, right? A heart's desire like the 9 of Cups. That's when we're going to leap anywhere. We'll really go for it. Not settling anymore. Putting in the effort to get what we want. Really going for it. I mean, I would say this. It's a bit cliche to say, but you know, those Capricorns that are really successful at work and business and stuff, if you want a relationship, treat it the same way. Trust me on that. The skill sets can move around. Nothing's really fragmented. You might be really bold and go for things at work, and yet in your love life, you're a bit, oh, I don't know if I want to do that. I used to do that. I used to fragment things. Now I'm the same everywhere. I'm the same everywhere I go. And that's kind of this. It's like, it has meaning for you. And it might have just been something you toyed with, the idea you toyed with it before. Or it was just a little side distraction thing. It wasn't, you know, oh, I might enjoy doing that. But it's become something much bigger. Something much bigger. Letting go. Somebody else got this one. I don't remember. But think about it. Now, you see this woman, she's releasing all the butterflies, right? Just let them go. And I always say it with this card. It's so cliche to say, but you know, I've totally blanked on what I was going to say there. But you know, when you say, you know, if it was yours, now if you love it, let it go. If it was yours, it'll come back to you. If it wasn't, it was never yours to begin with. That's the kind of energy here. That's the kind of energy here. It feels like something might have been sacrificed maybe in the past. Something has been sacrificed to build something. But if it was like one day, when it gets to this point, then I'll do that. When it gets to this point, then I'll start building the house, or then I'll start doing this, then I'll start doing that. That's now. If you're at the 7 of Pentacles, you put a lot of effort into this. In fact, you're not even at the 7. You think you're at the 7. This is saying you're actually at the 9. You've got this nice sanctuary. You've got this nice whatever it is that you're doing. And you can have it all. The Queen of Pentacles can have it all. She can make it work. But there's something, 8 of Cups. Don't settle for it. You know, let that thing go. Let's go into the unknown. And maybe it's letting go of the known, right? I think it was Libra that got this as well. So it's, dear you, there is always more than one side to an argument. 2 sides, if not more, to every story, and hundreds of ways to be right, be different, be at odds, and so on. Today we suggest, instead of looking for differences, you find a meeting place of agreement and approach this experience with understanding and compassion. Seek common ground to understand how another person thinks, or how an alternate plan might be laid. And I think for you guys, it's the alternate plan that counts. Stay out of judgment too. Observe, discern, but accept that others have different stories, experiences, and journeys. And some people might refuse to remain open to another's point of view. No matter what, you've been presented with a great opportunity to explore a new way of doing things once common ground is reached. You're attracting people and situations that enrich your life and bring you wonderful things to learn. We love you so much. And in that sense, then, July for you is that common ground, finding the common ground, finding the space between this stuff that you've worked towards and built, and this risky leaping into the unknown kind of energy that's coming in it. Because they sound like 2 extremes, but this card is saying like there can be a marrying of the 2, especially with the advice coming up here. There can be a marrying of the 2. It can work. You can have it all, Capricorn.